Hey, good morning. It's Mark watching MTC Media. Day two of the ACC Tournament. We should see a good crowd here early on for the first game simply because it involves Virginia Tech. The Hokies take on Florida State here at noon down at Cap 1. Uh, Virginia Tech has played well of late. They're coming off three in a row to end the season: a win over Wake, a win over Louisville, and then a win over Notre Dame. You might not think much of those wins, but all of them are solid, especially when you look at the Notre Dame win because how well they were playing at that time. Over the last 10 games, it's been Padula and Couture, two guys that everyone should be familiar with. If you're a Hokie fan who have both been playing well, and Jameer Watkins from Florida State. If you are into these things like gambling, Virginia Tech is favored by 3.5 points. The next game after that is Notre Dame and Wake Forest. Yesterday, Notre Dame made a game exciting where they're up 17, eventually lost the lead, came back and ended up winning the game by 4 points. It was who you would suspect yesterday that it would be. It was the Marcus Burton and Braden Shrewsbury show. Shrewsbury coming off a lot of staggers, Marcus Burton being able to get downhill. Wake is favored by 8.5. I think that's 8.5. Let me take another look. Wake is favored by, yes, 8.5. And I'm sort of wondering why. Just when you look at how Wake Forest has played of late, I just feel like guys like Carr and Hildreth have been so inconsistent. And yeah, Wake Forest could win this game by 12. Wake Forest could lose this game by 7. So they had lost 3 of their last 4. Wake is coming off a good win against Clemson in the last game of the season. When you look at the matchup of these two earlier, I will pull it up. Wake lost to Notre Dame 70-65 in South Bend earlier this year. That looks like that was the only meeting between the two. Notre Dame did play yesterday. It was a tough game. It could be a leg situation. How much legs do they have left? But I think that's aggressively number for that game. Now, if you're wondering what KenPom has, KenPom has Wake winning 72-63. So the great KenPom has Wake Forest covering. Those are the 2 day session games. We move to the night session game. The first game will be NC State and Syracuse. Syracuse swept NC State earlier this season. Talked a little bit to Kevin Keats about that yesterday. You can, I was going to say you can catch the interview on my website. You cannot film in there. I can see if I can pull it up from somewhere. But again, this is one of those. What do you believe? Do you believe that playing the day before helps because you're used to the arena now? You kind of got your legs under yourself, or how important is the rest in the matchup? Syracuse comes in here having won 4 of their last 5 games, and they've just played well over the second half of the season. 1, 2 plus 4, 6 of their last 8 are wins. The only 2 losses came to Georgia Tech. Oof, that's a bad loss. And Clemson. NC State, the talk around the arena obviously is whether Kevin Keats will keep his job. Most feel like he will not, without there being a major run. NC State had come in losing 4 in a row coming into yesterday. Those losses: Florida State, North Carolina, Duke, and Pitt. And 3 of the 4 were away from home. Now, the Florida State loss is probably inexcusable, but the other ones you could see. But they win 94-85 yesterday. I want to see who is favored in this. Syracuse is favored by 2.5. I would not be shocked if NC State won today. I think it's more of a toss-up game. Syracuse is going to be, it's going to come down to how the Syracuse guards play. Let's just cut to the chase. If Judah Mintz and J.J. Starlin play well under control and control that offense and controls what happens, Syracuse will probably win. If there is a hiccup, NC State has just as much as Syracuse has. So we'll see. That could go anywhere. I think NC State might pull that one off. Last game of the night, the dreaded last game of the night, it is BC and Clemson. And this is what stinks because, a lot of times with last game of the night, people start to check out. The crowd starts to thin out. And I'm thinking to myself, oh, no. This is one of the ones you want to stay for. Because you have P.J. Hall, you have Quentin Post, you have Jaden Zachary, so much Chase Hunter. This game is going to be, it shapes up as being possibly the game of the day. And if you know anything about the ACC and the ACC tournament, all the way back to when this conference only had 8 teams, boy, that last game of the night is always a doozy. I'm trying to see what were these guys against each earlier. Like I said, I wonder what they were against each other earlier in the season. Let's see, Clemson and BC. I do believe that Clemson beat BC when BC was hurt, because I don't think Quentin Post, I talked to him last night, and he said that he was hurt and he didn't play against Clemson earlier this year. And this comes down to it. Who wins amongst those bigs? The P.J. Halls and Shiflins for Clemson, and then, Quentin Post for BC, and then his backcourt mate, Jaden Zachary. And that's what makes this game so exciting, is because both teams can play inside out. Both teams have guys who can be old schoolish. And it's an exciting game. Like I said, I'm just sorry it's the last game tonight. I think it would be great if it was like the 7 o'clock game or the second game in the first session. So, hey, I'm going to be here all day. You will hear from me once we get past the first session. We'll wrap up those games. This is Mark Watch from MTC Media live here at the ACC Tournament.